Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 16th regularly scheduled Board of Trustees meeting. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Certainly. Mayor Citrin,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Lindsay,
Present.
Trustee Shara.
He's going to be joining us in perhaps 30 minutes. You
Not
can
here
notice
yet,
appearance
okay.
when he arrives.
Will do. Trustee Tenari
Present.
and Trustee Turner.
Present.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I have a couple of comments, essentially notifications. I've been advised that the Weewah Playground, which if any of you've seen it, is under construction and looks great. Will be finished, is it on the 20th?
The 20th, yeah.
Finished on the 20th. So we're looking forward to it. I would ask that parents do not allow their children to use the playground while it's under construction, because once it's completed, it will be inspected by a certified playground inspector. At that point, it will be available for public use. So if there are any parents who are in the park with their children, please avoid the playground until it is complete, certified, and ready for enjoyment by everyone in the village. The work on Pond 3 Dam and roadway is on schedule with completion in mid-December. Bulky waste pickup is Saturday, this Saturday. Please have your items out front by 7 a.m. Halloween is going to be on Halloween this year, fortuitously. It will be held as usual at Clubhouse Road between 5 and 7 p.m. If anyone is interested in volunteering to assist in setting up Clubhouse Road, putting out candy, please call Elizabeth at Village Hall, and Sheila Trailens will get in touch with you. And finally, somebody was good enough to turn in a woman's watch that she found at Weewah Park. If anybody's missing a woman's watch, please get in touch with Elizabeth. She's holding it for you. Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor, any comments?
Just tomorrow, Trustee Tenari and I will be meeting virtually with a community choice aggregation administrator to talk about their role in community choice aggregation programs, because our current administrator, Jewel, is no longer going to be in the business. And our community choice aggregation program expires November 30th. So we're looking for a new administrator, and then starting the whole process of public outreach again. And we'll discuss New York Power Authority rates later.
Sure.
Okay.
Great.
And in the town, let's see, oh yeah, it'll be November 2nd. Deputy Supervisor Deirdre Murphy and I will be presenting the latest Hamlet revitalization plan at the Historical Society. And this is the new revised plan that will be submitted for the New York Forward grant for $4 million. And there's also a pollinator meadow ribbon cutting at the, there's a sundial that was donated and installed by the Boy Scouts. And so that's tomorrow at 2:30. No, I'm sorry, tomorrow's Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
I'm sorry, where's the sundial gonna be?
It's that the pollinator meadow on Route 17.
Oh, okay.
and 17A.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Tenari, any comments?
No comments other than what we're gonna cover later.
Great. Trustee Turner, any comments?
No comments for me.
Okay, we'll now go to public comments. Anybody in the room have a comment they'd like to make? General comments? Seeing none, anyone on Zoom like to make a comment? You have up to 3 minutes. Okay, seeing none, there's a later comment period if anyone arrives later in the evening. We'll start with reports, oral and written. The court report for September is in writing and was provided to the board. So the first live report will be Police Chief Alan Faust. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening. For the month of September, the Village Police Department, was on with 170 blotters. We had one criminal investigation. We issued 13 warnings and issued 13 traffic tickets. We had 6 fire alarms. 0 regular alarms, 6 medical calls, 8 assists with the town police. And did 658 miles and about 1,000 vehicles a day. Also, we attended an event last week for Fearless in Orange County. It was up at the county building for September is or October is a domestic violence month. So they actually it's called the Clothesline Project, where they have victims of domestic violence that over the years they do T-shirts of their sayings on it, and it was pretty touching. They had over 700 shirts that went from Erie Street to Scotchtown Avenue on a clothesline all the way across. I mean, it was pretty touching. So a lot of our dignitaries were there, our senators, our county executive, and it's traveling around the county. I guess it's going to be in a different few places for the month, but it's something to see, and how much effort that Fearless, which used to be Safe Homes Orange County, puts into a year. They've had over 9,500 calls just in Orange County. So it's a very good organization, and just want to bring awareness to everybody for the Domestic Violence Month.
Thank you, Chief. A couple of points. I noticed, first of all, that a new speed sign has been installed on the causeway,
Yes.
a solar powered speed sign. And the older sign was removed. Is the older sign going to be installed somewhere else?
Yeah, that one is gonna, we gotta get some new hardware for it.
Okay.
And that one will be able to be a little mobile, or we'll be able to place that one around the village at some other times.
Okay, and when I went past the new sign, it indicated I was going 29 miles an hour, but it wasn't flashing. Have we programmed it to 25 rather than
Slow
30?
Uh,
I mean, ordinarily, the old sign used to flash if you were doing
Yeah.
anything above 25, and doing 29, it wasn't flashing. I'm wondering if that's just a programming thing that has to be
Yeah,
done.
there's, that one's a state, we got it just went up, so we could program it.
Yeah, program it to 25, yeah.
Flash it.
26, 27, it flashes.
And what's good with them too, they keep, they collect all the data, so we'll be able to, be able to tell like how many vehicles
We're exceeding the speed limit. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Pretty good to have.
Yeah, well, we'll ask you for that report next month. We'd really like, that would be an interesting factoid. We'd like to know how many people are speeding along the causeway. I appreciate Trustee Turner, and you got that electronic fence installed at the north gate, and it works great. I have one other request, and that is, would you be able to research a camera to be placed at the north gate so that we can see who comes and goes out of the gate as it opens and closes?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's probably some, I don't know, if there's Wi-Fi there at the second, or there maybe is with some of the.
I think John's aware of.
There's internet at the main building. It may
Yeah,
have to be
so if
extended.
There's internet, they would be able.
We'll get the internet extended, and we'll have a camera so the officer in the booth can see who's coming and going out of the north gate now that it's electronic rather than padlocked. Thank you
It's a
so
good
much.
suggestion.
Yeah, and thank you, Trustee Turner, for actually getting that job done.
No, it's all,
Last, I don't want you to have to stick around for the balance of the agenda. You're recommending the hiring of a young man as a police officer, part-time police officer?
Yes, part-time police officer, Thomas Iazzetti,
Okay,
who's a local kid in our community. His family's, lived in the community for years. Done an extensive background investigation, and I think he would be a really good fit for our department. And he really wants to be part of the Tuxedo community as a police officer, which is good. Like, he wants to stay local. He's also a member of our local fire department, and he's a pretty good kid. And he's working part-time right now in the village of Monroe as a dispatcher. So he's learning already. He's able to learn the new niche system and all that stuff that we got going on.
the niche being the reporting system.
Yeah, our new records management system, which looks like we're probably in the next the end of this month and the beginning of next month, our department will get sent for our training for that, so we should be probably hooked up with that by the end of, mid to end of November. We should be going on that system also.
Thank you, Chief. Any
Thank you.
questions from Deputy Mayor?
Is he in the academy now or has he been?
He's in phase one of the academy
Phase one?
right now, which he
Okay.
put him through himself. So he needs the sponsorship for the phase two part, which, he would, foot the expenses with that, so. And, being with our county list is coming out soon, so some of our younger officers might be getting picked up full time, so we're gonna definitely, have the need, so we don't have, too many, gaps in scheduling.
So the village would be sponsoring him for the next
For phase
phase?
two, correct.
Okay.
How long is that phase two?
The phase one is the longest part. The phase two is really all it is just mostly it's just firearms and a couple of the other like defensive tactics and stuff. So it's only about 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Trustee Turner, any questions for the chief?
No, that sounds great.
Okay, all right, thank you very,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, Chief. We've covered everything. Okay, the next would be, the next report would be from DPW Supervisor Jeff Voss. He is working on a water main leak in the town in the vicinity of SOS Fuels. So he
Oh.
will not be here tonight. And we'll all get an update on tomorrow, I assume. They can take care of that water main break. John, you're up next.
Yeah, a number of inspections were conducted during the month. Most projects are moving along as expected. We do have a few projects that are kind of slow, and I'll discuss them with the attorney and the mayor in the next week to see what we can do to motivate people to progress a little faster.
Okay.
But no big problems to report.
Okay, thank you. And I know we have a bi-weekly meeting of on the dam project, Pond 3 Dam
I
project.
believe it's this upcoming
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
at 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're keeping on top of that with bi-weekly meetings with the engineer as well as the contractor. And so any trustee or deputy mayor welcome to attend if you
Thank
like. Tuesday at 10, right?
I'll double check and I'll let you
I'm
know
almost sure
tomorrow.
it's Tuesday at 10. Okay, here at Village Hall. All right, then there's a water department reports, which Denise was good enough to provide in advance. Treasurer reports from Elizabeth were also attached to the record. So that completes oral and written reports. I'll make a motion, be it resolved that the board add all written reports to the permanent record. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by the deputy mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that'd be 4-0. Next, we have approval of meeting minutes. First, the August 8th, 2025 Special Board of Trustees meeting. Madam Clerk, did we all attend that meeting?
Sorry, I had to unmute.
Sure.
No, the August 8th meeting was only attended by Mayor Citron, Trustee Shara, and Trustee Turner.
Okay, since we don't have Trustee Scherer here, we can't vote on that. We don't have a quorum for that. How about the September 18th regular meeting?
Everybody
all-
attended except for Trustee Turner.
Okay, we can then move on that. So let me make a motion on that alone. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the minutes from the be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the minutes from the regular Board of Trustees meeting for September 18th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Tenari. Any discussion? I'm sorry. Any
Mayor,
discussion?
may I just interject for a moment? This is Jared speaking.
Sure.
Even though certain members were not present for the meeting itself, they are able to vote on the minutes of the meeting.
A member who's not present is entitled to vote?
No, if the member was not present for the special meeting but is here this evening, they're able to vote on those minutes.
Let's just clear this up. We had 3 people attend the special meeting in August. Myself, Trustee Turner, who's here, and Trustee Scherer, who is not present.
Right.
So we don't have, who can vote on that?
So any member present this evening is able to vote on the minutes. They didn't necessarily need to attend.
Oh, that was news to me. I thought you had to be present to approve the minutes.
Common misconception.
Okay, well, the village attorney has informed me of the appropriate procedure, so we will vote on this. Let me read it again. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the minutes from the regular Board of Trustees meeting on September 18th of 2015. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Tenari. All in favor, including Trustee Turner, who is present with us today. All in favor, please?
Aye.
Aye. Trustee Turner, do you vote aye? You're permitted to
Yeah,
vote.
I do. I it is odd to vote on minutes that I wasn't meeting for, to be honest, but Jared, I'll do it this once. Yes. Aye.
You can abstain if you want. If
I
you-
could
if-
I could send you the opinion tomorrow too.
No, I'm sure it's no, I'm sure it's the right legal, of course.
Okay,
guidance. It's
yeah.
just
All
a
right,
little
we'll
bit-
rely on the village attorney's advice for that one. Okay, so we'll go back to August 8th. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the minutes from the special Board of Trustees meeting on August 8th of 2025. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by the Deputy Mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 4-0. Okay, now we move on to old business. So, Village Hall expansion. We've all seen the proposal, over $500,000. It's a lot of money. And I was thinking about what we can do, and this is just some thoughts off the cuff, to reduce the cost and still accomplish at least part of what we want to do. The problem with the present proposal is it requires a demolition of the entire building behind us. I don't think we want to do that. So what if we were to look at the other wing, which I believe doesn't require demolition, and actually push that wing out beyond the storage room that's there to include a file room. I don't know how far we would go in that direction because as Jay mentioned, there's water issues there. And then to accomplish one of the primary things we'd like to do to give John more room, we'd essentially take that office that I rarely sit in and the court clerk uses once or twice a month, remove the wall, extend his office into that space, and then in the back of this room, make a small office in that corner, and I'm referring to the corner where the pictures are, sort of to where the chief is sitting, and or maybe even not so far, but at least to include a window, because that would allow John to be able to do something with his space. He'd be able to put more files in, right, John?
Yes.
And that's the key here. And it would certainly cost a whole lot less. Now, I don't know how much it would cost to create a new office in this room, but it's certainly going to be a lot less to demolish that wall, create a new office, and maybe even to bump out behind the storage room to the right of Elizabeth. That's just a suggestion. So I'm not asking anybody to comment on it now, but maybe it's something we should think about. Anybody
Looks
have?
like Joshua Shara is here, sorry.
Oh, okay. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Mayor, I think that's very prudent to look at other options. So I think that's fantastic. I guess one question on the files. So I think having another office obviously makes a lot of sense, but should we look to move to electronic filing versus having actual file storage?
Yes,
Okay, well, there's your answer. We have to preserve what we have. Isn't that true, Elizabeth?
I'm not exactly sure. I think there's different rules for different things. I'm particularly interested in the building department files because we have so many of them. But I did just attend a meeting yesterday about electronic files. And that clerk doesn't keep practically anything, not even minutes. Everything's electronic. So
But would
almost
that,
scares me a little bit, but
would that require, I mean, John's got huge records, right? I mean, it's enormous
Right.
amount of records. Do they have to be digitalized as
Yeah,
part of the
they have to
process?
be. Yeah, but there are companies that do that.
I would
and
ask
there's-
Jared that. He probably has some familiar with that.
Yeah.
How would that work?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the records do have to be digitized. In fact, Elizabeth, I may, if it's okay with you, put you in touch with the village clerk of the Village of Greenport,
yes,
who is
please.
recently successful in obtaining grant funding
Yes, I've heard
for
about,
that purpose.
Yep.
And, you know, Greenport, which has a history going back to the bootlegging era, had just as many files in their basement. They were able to clean up a lot of it. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yes,
get the two
please.
of you in touch.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
So that's actually, we're going in two directions, digitalizing or digitizing all files. You can look into that, Elizabeth, with the assistance of Jared's referral. And let's think about possibly rearranging the office as I described, or something similar. It's just a thought. And we all, I think, recognize, we haven't really had a vote on it, that the proposal of for over $500,000 to tear that building down behind us and recreate Village Hall is just not something that we can afford at this point in light of the other capital projects that have to take place. Trustee Scherer.
Doesn't it make sense, and I think we can do this quickly, is determine what can be digitized, and if all of our legacy records can be digitized or some big proportion of them, then I would assume that frees up a lot of space and completely transforms how we view this renovation. And I'm just thinking that seems like a logical first step, because if we don't need a big record storage area, or, you know, all the papers that are, you know, piled, you know, 6 feet high in John's office can go away, it sort of changes the math on everything that we're doing.
It's the first step we should take. I agree.
All right, and
Makes sense.
we'll authorize you to move forward and get some information on how we go about doing this, because I think it's probably a huge project, because there's records stored at the other end of the building, right?
But Jed made the point, which is you can outsource this. Like, there are people that will come in and digitize for you. You can just outsource it.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty efficient.
And that's
It does cost money though, so I mean, I'm
No,
not
of course it
not
costs.
arguing against it.
But by the way,
It
it costs
absolutely
money.
costs money. There's no question about that, but there's a whole industry that does this.
Yeah, I
Well-
agree with you. I really do. I'm
we'll-
scared to
and
do
we'll-
it, to be honest.
And we'll save money on the renovation. I
Right.
mean, that's the
Yes,
thing.
good
So
point. Yep, very good point.
my only concern is that John is comfortable with all those
No,
boxes.
no.
that keep
It'll be a
him
lot
around.
easier to find things once it's digitized,
Okay.
if done properly.
All right, so there are no motions required, just begin the investigative process. Thank you. Okay, item number B, under old business, Garden Club reimbursement for irrigation system at Front Gate. Now, we discussed this in some detail, so I turn to you, Deputy Mayor, as a member, a longstanding member of the Garden Club, to let us know how you view this.
So I spoke with Jill Swerble, who is the current president of the club. And I had said that, you know, at first we thought it was just reimbursement for the installation. And then the letter talked about how the village would then take ownership and maintain it.
Right.
And so I said, well, I wasn't prepared because I didn't know what you were expecting in that regard. So they're going to write up a proposal for us and present it.
Okay.
And then we can take another look at it.
Okay, then we'll move on from that and wait for their proposal. Next, I mentioned that the playground is going to be complete by September 20th. The prime contractor on the playground is former DPW employee Dan Hagland, and he's going to need 3 additional days to work to complete the job. So I don't have the amount of money, Elizabeth. Do you have it handy?
Do you
Oh,
not?
there it is. Yes, I see it now. Okay. So I'll make the following motion. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorize Dan Hagland to work with DPW to install the new playground at Weewap Park for $320 per day. Actually, it's for 4 days to complete the work. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Tenari. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
all right.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I had spoke with Matt and Katie Mullins, and we had raised this issue earlier, that it's a complex structure. I'm sure it's going to be put together properly. However, for us all to feel comfortable, with this structure, I thought it was important, as I think John also mentioned it and somebody else, we need a certified playground instructor, playground inspector to take a look at the playground before we officially open it. So I'll turn it over to Matt, who's the liaison with the Weewa Park with respect to hiring a playground
Yeah.
inspector.
So unfortunately, we don't know the cost yet, but Katie's having a call with Playground Medic, who you found. So thank you for that, tomorrow to find out timing and cost associated with it, because I think she's on vacation this week.
Oh, okay.
So we will find out tomorrow, and then I can send everyone an update.
All right, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we authorize at this point the hiring of a playground inspector subject to approval of the fee? Does anybody think that that's inappropriate? Because the playground will be done by the 20th, and our next meeting is,
Yeah.
even our special meeting's not gonna be till the end of the month.
And we have to wait to put the mulch down until it's inspected so they can see all the cement. So we don't want the cement exposed for a
Yeah.
month.
Okay,
No.
so I'm gonna make a motion that we authorize the hiring of a playground inspector for the new playground at Weewa Park at a fee. We have no idea what the fee would be, at a fee to be provided.
You could do a not to exceed, Mayor.
Okay, not to exceed. I mean, I have no idea, not to exceed
Engineer, and I was gonna inspect that and write your report, I charge you $3,000 or $4,000.
3 or
I
4.
have an engineer, that's what I charge. So I would say 5. I think you're covered.
That's a lot of money, but
But think of the kids.
yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
All right, I appreciate that. Okay, there's a profit margin in there as well, I assume. So why don't we say, at this point, $3,000? Is that agreeable to everyone? Not
Can
to
we,
exceed
let me
3,000.
ask a question. I feel like when you put out a number that you've just given whoever the consultant is a target to hit, which in this case would be 2,999.
No, we're not gonna
Um,
tell them. We're not gonna tell him,
This
Josh.
is public session. That's fine. I understand.
I mean, this,
um,
yeah,
I
You
mean,
get several quotes.
yeah, okay, all right.
all right.
We can also get other quotes too, if we get,
There are, I just picked the one that's closest to us. They're in Hawthorne, in Westchester, so I know that's relatively convenient. They can cross the Bear Mountain Bridge and be here relatively soon. All right, why don't we pick the figure of 3,000? Be resolved that the Board of Trustees authorize the hiring of a playground inspector for the new playground at Weewa Park at a fee not to exceed $3,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Tenari. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's unanimous. That's 5-0.
You.
Okay. The next item is continuing the discussion on consolidating the planning board and the Board of Architectural Review. We tabled that last month, Jedediah, to give you the opportunity to participate in the discussion. We wanted your views. I can tell you that we've gotten some responses from the public. Former Mayor McFadden, who was here in person last month, opposes it. Rob Simon sent a letter early on, which was circulated to everybody opposing it. Joanne Hansen was here on Zoom, and she also opposed it. So, 3 prominent members of the community, for their own reasons they articulated, are opposed to this. And it's something that I thought we should consider in light of the fact that, right now at this point, the planning board has 3 members, while the bar has 5 members, and theoretically we could set up a board of 7 members. However, during the course of our discussions, Trustee Turner, a suggestion was made, well, perhaps we could solve this in some way by giving the planning board more authority over the engineering elements of applications that are presently made before the bar. And that was a consideration, and we talked about it briefly, but we tabled everything so that you could participate in the conversation. So here we are. And have you had any opportunity to think about this and what your position on this might be, or any thoughts about some sort of compromise?
Yeah, so one thank you, Mayor. I have had a number of different folks come up to me, voicing concerns about combining the two. And what I actually thought was interesting is they included people that generally don't see eye to eye on things, so that did give me some pause.
Okay, all right, I understand. So if we were, if we got a consensus here, that maybe we could somehow give the planning board more authority. The one negative I thought about when I woke up in the middle of the night was that means that the applicant would have to go to two separate boards, right? And people aren't gonna like that. They don't even like to go to one board, but they're required to do so. So the question is that really workable, telling them, well, you're gonna go to the planning board first on the engineering aspects of your proposal, assuming there are engineering aspects, not every bar application has engineering aspects. And then you're gonna have to go to the bar for the architectural review of the plans. So that may create some consternation among applicants. Where is everybody on that? If as just as a general consideration of expanding the planning board's authority to review engineering elements of certain proposals, not all proposals require that.
Well, John, do you have a view on that? Because like how it would practically work?
I'm really not clear on what type of applications you're concerned about that need more engineering or construction
Well,
review.
let me tell you, I've seen the bar review driveways. I don't know why the bar is reviewing the creation of a driveway. It seems to me that that's something that the planning board would be naturally involved in, how you lay out a driveway. Whether it's new construction, which you would do now, Jay, or just changing or changing a driveway for a house that's already in existence. That was just one aspect of an application. I thought, really, that's what the bar does. They approve new driveways, and I'm sure there are probably other aspects. Go ahead, Jay.
I'll stand over here so that people in TV land can. Putting my planning board chair hat on. To driveways. The engineering aspects of that are really pretty prescriptive in the code. I would understand that the bar has a responsibility to review driveway placement and layout because of its impacts on landscape and hardscape aesthetics, which is one of the things that we do around here. So perhaps if the concern is that there are technical aspects that the bar feels that they're not completely qualified to attend to, then there could be a list of items that get devolved to the planning board, perhaps as a I'm thinking about as a model, the way environmental permitting works in New York State for water projects, where the Army Corps has, the feds have jurisdiction and the DEC has jurisdiction. And between the two of them, they pick one to be the lead agency who's running it. And then the others come in as technical experts, essentially. So there could be pieces that got sent to the planning board for engineering review, but not necessarily that needed a full planning board exercise. I don't know. So I hope that helped. I think that what I'm hearing is, just in general, there's this idea that we should combine the boards, but it doesn't sound like anybody has a real understanding of why that is, except perhaps that we don't have enough people. And so maybe that's not the right reason to do it. If there's a concern that there are the wrong boards reviewing particular pieces of things, that's a different question that needs to be looked at. Sorry, I don't have any good answers on this one.
I think one of
I
the
think-
concerns is we have all these volunteers, and on the planning board, they're underutilized, and on the bar, it's a lot of work, so people don't want to join the bar. And we have like currently we don't have that many people on the planning board, but we have people who generally historically have been available on the planning board, not much work, and then the bar is hard to place volunteers because it's both controversial in some cases and also a ton of work.
I think the thought was to try and streamline the process as well, right? So as you're saying, then people don't have to go to two boards. But if the Board of Architecture Review goes by what's in the design guidelines and everything else goes to the planning board. Is that how, maybe that's a way we could divide it up?
Trustee Turner, trustee Scherer, any thoughts?
Nothing to add to the conversation. I don't think we should be combining.
That's definitely adding something to the conversation. Okay, all right. I don't think, I appreciate the feedback trustee Turner's gotten from members of the public. I appreciate the members of the public who actually spoke. And we haven't heard from anyone who's in favor of this,
correct.
okay? And I have actually heard, not from many people, but I have heard that it just puts too much power in the hands of one particular board. Not that I'm sure that the Jay, as a member of a combined board, and perhaps the chair would exercise that power judiciously. So I think perhaps we should table this discussion, because there doesn't seem to be the kind of support necessary to make the kind of change in the administration of village government. Does everybody agree?
Well, should we, so not combine them,
Right.
but talk about maybe dividing up what the different boards do?
Well, I think
That's a
in order to
separate
do that, we have
discussion.
to really understand what the bar does. As I'm sitting here now, even though a former chair is present, I don't have enough information on the bar's jurisdiction.
The chairs should sit down and go through the guidelines and see where there might be suggestions to bring before the board that could streamline the process.
That's Sheila Trailens, for those of you who perhaps didn't see her in the corner.
That's a good idea. Could we also ask the code revision committee to look at what the bar was formed to do and where the start and stop is?
I think they have enough work. I mean, they have this huge project. I don't think we should ask them to do that. I think the bar chair and I think it's a great suggestion, Sheila. The bar chair and the planning board chair should have a discussion so that we have some appreciation. And I certainly don't, and I don't know if you guys do, of what exactly the bar does and what they deal with on a regular basis. So perhaps we'll table that for now, and we'll continue to research it. Anything from you, trustee Turner, or trustee Scherer, on that?
No,
No, it seems like a prudent path forward.
Okay, all right.
agreed.
All right, so we'll move on. Okay, next item is continuing discussion to amend the village code to create an alternate board member position on the appointed boards. I circulated a second draft. I assume everybody got it. And I also indicated, I think in my letter, my view that the alternate's role should be expansive rather than narrow. So we can certainly discuss it now. I'll state my view for the public. It would be nice to have an alternate member, because we can see from what happened with respect to the BZA and the Padel Courts issue that if you have 2-2, there's no decision. An alternate member would provide the fifth vote. I think that alternate member should be involved in the entire process. And the only preclusion to that alternate member is if at the end, when votes are taken, that alternate member does not cast a vote, because you have the 5 regular members present. There are alternatives to that, but that's my position. The alternative, the alternate member, as a prelude to becoming a regular member, should there be a vacancy, should be totally and completely involved in all discussions and be able to ask questions, to give opinions, and only votes if there are less than 5 members on the date at the time that the vote on the application takes place. So open the floor to everybody else on this. Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, I would say if there's a case of any recusal, whether it's 1 or 2, I would say the alternate could vote. And certainly if we need to establish a quorum, but I don't know if there's only 4 members, or if 4 members are there and only 1 is absent, would we need the alternate to vote.
Yes.
So
I do.
that's,
I do.
that's where I'm not sure how far we, when the alternate would vote.
Yeah, but that's the big question. When is the
Yeah.
alternate vote? So you have
So-
a different viewpoint on that, I guess.
You
Simply
think-
a missing member does not entitle the alternate to
Because
vote.
there would be 4. Well, of course, then you could have 2 to 2.
Right.
I guess, Jared, is there a standard for boards with alternates, how it works?
Most of the alternate members, formats that I've seen include 2 alternate members in case there's multiple recusals and you're not left with less than a quorum.
I think that's gonna practically be tough for us.
We have in the current draft, specific instances where the alternate member can be called upon. Whether it's abstention of one of the members, or if there was a conflict at any point that would prevent the member from participating in the vote, or they refuse to participate in the vote, the chairman of that or chairperson of that board is able to designate the alternate to step in.
But
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mayor.
Yeah, my concern is I don't want to, in all due respect to Jay, I don't necessarily think the chairman should have that discretion to decide when the alternate votes, because that, I'm not making any allegations here, but that provides for a certain amount of manipulation or the ability to manipulate the result.
Yep.
So if we know for a fact, if there's less than 5, the alternate's going to vote, that's going to take away the possibility of manipulating the vote in some manner, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So that's my personal preference, is you do not give the chair that discretion. Because the chair has an opinion, and you understand what the point I'm making. I think it has to be set in stone that if there are less than 5 and the alternate is present, the alternate gets the opportunity to vote. So any
Yeah.
thought on that?
I agree with that.
All right.
Uh,
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you, Mayor.
Okay, Trustee Turner.
Likewise.
Okay, great. Jared, would you redraft the proposal for a public hearing in the near future?
Yes, so we are not at the point where you'd like to schedule the public hearing.
Well, can we schedule one when we don't have the?
You
the
can,
verbiage?
you can.
Oh, we can?
Yep.
All right, so let's,
But the changes have to be available, what you're proposing.
It'll be available at least 24 hours in advance of the next meeting for sure, and we'll certainly publish it, before the hearing is held.
well, that 24 hours before the public hearing is not enough time.
No, that's the minimum under the law. So I can get this draft done, quickly and turn it around. Right.
Yeah, okay. So you understand, Jared, what we like. We essentially want the alternate to participate fully, but only cast a ballot if there are less than 5 regular members present.
I do. I apologize in advance, Mayor. I may call you just to run some ideas by you in relation to that, but I understand the concept.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just also say something, that one of the good things about having an alternate is that when somebody on the board leaves, you have somebody right away that can fill in. And the
Yeah.
board can continue as 5 members, and then you're just looking for another alternate, which is a lot less onerous than looking for another board member.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. So let's, I'm going to change this resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees schedule a public hearing on the proposed local law to add an alternate board member to each of the appointed boards. Said public hearing to take place on, do you know the date of the next meeting?
No.
Yeah,
Just make it at the next.
well, I think we have to
Need a
set the date,
actual date.
actual
Let's
date,
see.
November.
November 20th?
20th,
November 20th?
yes, sir.
Okay, a public hearing for 7 PM on November 20th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by the deputy mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. All right. Next item is to authorize server replacement as recommended by New Windsor IT. Trustee Scherer, were you involved in that discussion?
I was.
Okay.
I can give you all the gory details, but I'll keep it brief. If you have questions, feel free to ask. So we have 2 servers that are out of warranty. I think we've had them for probably 7 to 8 years. I think, the question I had was, do we even need our own servers, or can we just rent cloud space? I had the conversation, I can't remember with the guy's name, but the person who our outsourced IT person had a very he was great, answered all my questions. He basically said that would be renting space is going to be more expensive than having servers on site, and we do have backup anyway. So rather than using power, we do backup files in the cloud as well. So they're just out of warranty, and so we need new servers. We replace them every 5 to 7 years. They're about $5,500 per server with the new system, and you just amortize that over a 5 to 7 year period. So as soon as I spoke to him, it all seemed very rational and logical. So it's something I think we should be doing.
Okay. I'll make the motion, then we'll have a discussion. Be resolved that the Board of Trustees approve of the recommendation of New Windsor Information Technology, the purchase of 2 computer servers to replace the ones we currently have, which were installed in 2018 and will be out of warranty next month. The cost of replacement is expected to be less than $5,500 each, so maybe a total of less than $11,000 between the 2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by the Deputy Mayor. Any further discussion on this?
Just one question for Michelle. Do we have to find budget dollars for this, or was it budgeted?
That is a question. I mean, it's one of these things that we'll have to talk, maybe take it out of the reserve
Yeah.
because,
It wasn't budgeted, no.
No, it wasn't
Okay,
budgeted,
it was
for sure.
Okay, I mean, let's, Josh has done the research. He says
It's
we
gonna-
need it.
Yeah,
And
It's
we
one of
certainly
those
don't want to
things.
lose all that
Right.
data when one of them fails or both of them fail. So all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
5-0. Okay,
Can I
Move-
ask a question? I'm sorry. Josh, did you discuss what to do with the old servers?
I'm assuming the answer is no, but I'm
Oh.
assuming they're worth something, and maybe I don't know if that's part of the net cost or not, Elizabeth.
Oh, okay,
You can, I mean, we're not going to keep them.
right,
I just don't know if we get any benefit from
Right.
returning them.
right.
okay. Next item on the agenda is authorized hiring of an attorney for the planning board. The Board of Trustees will discuss this issue in executive session, and hopefully we'll have a resolution when we come out of executive session with respect to the candidates and which candidate the board chooses for the position of planning board attorney. Next, observance of Halloween on Friday, October 31st, between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Volunteers needed. Be it resolved to approve the formal observance of Halloween on Friday, October 31st, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and the deployment of 2 police officers to supervise the children and to ensure safety. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Second by Trustee Tenari. Do we know, Elizabeth, whether the hayride's going to be available?
No, I don't, sorry.
Okay, would you make a call to?
Yes, I will.
Okay, because I
That's a
know
big hit.
that was
Yeah,
that was really a big hit, yeah. And we'd love to have it again this year.
okay.
Great. All in favor of Halloween on Friday, October 31st on Clubhouse Road, please say aye.
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 All right, okay, thank you. New business, okay, some administrative business. Be it resolved that the Village of Tuxedo Park requests permission from the County of Orange for the exemption from county taxation in the year 2027 on certain real property designated SBL 213-3-12 located in the town of Tuxedo for use of Village of Tuxedo Park water system. Do I have a second on that application to the county?
I'll second.
second by the deputy mayor. All in favor?
Um,
Aye, aye, okay. Next is to schedule a special board meeting. There are several issues we have to address. Most pressing is approval of the garbage contract. The bids are scheduled to be open when, John?
I believe it was the 22nd of next week.
22nd. And so we would have to have the meeting sometime after that. Our contract runs through November 30th. So,
Typically, we allow enough time for the attorneys to review the contracts.
okay.
A week or so, I assume, just to them.
All right. So the 22nd is
Wednesday.
Wednesday. And anybody available immediately thereafter?
Well, you want them to review?
Yeah, typically
Well, the attorneys review before we vote? Is that what it is?
typically to make
Oh,
sure
okay.
any
How much
legal
time do they
requirements.
need?
Um,
Jared, how much time would you need to review the bids? Now, we have no idea how many bids we're gonna get.
That's right. Or what their contracts look like.
well, we approved the bid, so you're just looking at, what they submitted to us.
Right.
Well, what the procedure again is, do we approve first and then submit to the attorney to finalize? Or does the attorney review and then we vote on the recommended, on the bid?
I think normally the attorney would review it to make sure it's in compliance with what we requested.
Yeah, so we gotta give the attorney
We
time.
give them a week or so time unless Jared, we don't expect more than 4 or 5 bids.
Well, that would be wonderful.
Well, I mean,
You're being optimistic.
No, I'm just issuing to Jared that, we're not expecting 20,
Yeah.
but even
Yeah.
if it's 5, it's,
A week or so should be fine. I'll have to talk with Rick, John.
okay.
Okay, so we're looking at the last 2 days of October, one of which is Halloween, which probably is not a good day. So,
I mean, it could be early November since the
Yeah,
contract
how
doesn't start in
about-
December.
the first week of November. How's everybody for any day the first week of November?
5th, maybe?
Election day excluded.
Right, of course.
So Monday the 3rd, Wednesday the 5th, Thursday the 6th. Any availability on those, one of those 3 days?
I'd have to dial in. I'm away.
Well, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
And any work except for Thursday.
If I had a preference, I'd take the 5th.
Yeah.
okay,
Me too.
that's fine.
Okay.
Any preference for time of day?
I
Are you
mean,
good?
evening
Okay,
would be
7.
best, but yeah, if we can do it.
Okay, so we'll schedule a special board meeting on November 5th at 7 PM. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees schedule a special Board of Trustees meeting to be held on November 5th at 7 PM to approve the garbage collection contract, the New York Power Authority rates, and proposals submitted by Weston and Sampson. Do I have a second?
I'll second, but I have a question.
Okay. Go ahead, discussion.
So discussion, I don't know if we want to wait that long to approve the new NIPA rates. I mean, we know what they are now. I mean, we're taking a chance, waiting 3 more weeks.
Are you saying that we should approve it tonight?
No, I don't know.
I mean, it's really your call. You're the one.
But I don't mind, but I don't know if the rest of the board hasn't had a chance to really look at it.
Yeah, I would be uncomfortable
Yeah.
approving rates that were handed to me.
Yeah, no, I don't want to
at the
do that.
And my apologies, on the 5th, we most likely have a BZA meeting at 7 o'clock. So
Should we do it a little bit earlier?
we
Because
could
we
have a
don't need that
meeting a
much
little
time.
bit
Okay,
earlier.
6 PM. I'll amend that motion and make it at 6 PM so we don't have a conflict with the BZA. But the issue becomes, what about the NIPA rates? Do we?
Could we do an up to amount or something like that?
Are they gonna shift that much in 3 weeks, you think?
We could take the chance. I mean, this
Have they
world
been
is
going,
crazy.
have they been going up?
They're volatile, so. Right now, they're lower than they were a couple days ago, but we could take our chance.
I'd be more comfortable if we made that decision on November. We selected the rates on
The
November
5th.
5th.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And there's no presidential election, so it's not gonna plummet or skyrocket. this year. Okay. All in favor of November 5th at 6 p.m. for the items just listed in the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, next item, authorization to hire company to create a new website. We've been talking about this for several months. Elizabeth, who looked at this?
I did.
Okay, Matt, please
So
feel free.
I'll give a quick overview and Elizabeth add the detail. So our current website is built on a platform that we don't own and is being retired by the website provider. I don't know exactly why it's being retired, but it is. So we are being forced essentially to rebuild the website on a new platform at our own cost. They're not offering, they're very happily offering to do it for us, the same provider, but would charge us to rebuild it, which is fairly offensive, I find. But so the Elizabeth went out and got 4 bids, one of which was from the current provider. Just a note, the current provider also does a town website, and I called the town clerk and she said this is not happening to them. So I don't know why it's kind of somewhat unique to us. So we got 4 quotes, 2 of which, so 3 of the 4 kind of specialize in municipal websites. So that's great. 2 of which the existing provider and another one build it on proprietary platforms that they continue to own. So we would essentially be putting ourselves in this position again where they could tell us we need to go rebuild a website. So what Elizabeth and I are in agreement is to go with the 3rd provider that specializes in municipal websites. The company did Goshen and Monroe and nearby towns or municipalities websites. And it's built on WordPress platform, which essentially every website developer can help us tweak it in the future. It's a very common, and we own it. So we won't be put in a position where we have to rebuild it in the future. We own the content, we can update it as we need. And Elizabeth actually is quite familiar with WordPress from prior jobs in life. So Elizabeth, do you want to add some detail, especially about the cost side of it?
I don't have much to add to it. That was a very good summation. The Civic Plus, which is the company we're using now, is very, very expensive. They were when we got them, and they're like $18,000. That's over 4 years, which includes the designing the website and hosting it. All of the people that gave me quotes talked about how much you would pay, and then they would say, sometimes they would say, you could pay this, and they would spread the cost over 4 years. They'd included the what's it called? The hosting of the website as well. So I just sort of took a cost over 4 years so that I could have a similar basis of comparison. The cheapest was GoDaddy, which is a company that practically everybody uses to host their website. But they also have templates that you can use, and they have people there that will do it for you. They were the cheapest, and we would own it, which was a very big thing for me. I don't ever want to go through this again where we're forced out of a website. But I just got to see an example of one of the websites, and I'm sorry to say it just wasn't very impressive. The links didn't work. So I thought, if that's what you're giving me when I'm asking you for an example, that's not good. And then we had another person called Divine Design. This lady happens to be she's a local. She's right here in Orange County. She designed the Village of Monroe's website, and I believe the Village of Goshen. And I was very, very impressed by her because before, just when I reached out to her for a quote, she kept emailing me back ideas about our website. She was already looking into it and saying, you can do this, you can do that. This is probably not a good idea. I thought that was really interesting, really good that she took such an interest in it and was
She came
so
to the meeting
proactive.
very prepared and had suggestions, and she was on it.
Yeah, exactly. And we will own the website with her. So that was like my #1 criteria, is I want to make sure we own it. And she was, in the end, her price was $88,776. Again, that's for, to create the website and hosting it for 4 years. And, it hit all the criteria beautifully. The cheapest after that was a company that specializes in municipal websites. Their websites were very, very good. Their cost for the 4 years is $8,600, so just a little bit less than hers, but you don't own it. And the person I spoke with tried to reassure me, said, "Oh, that'll never, ever happen." but, and, you know, I want to believe him, but I don't feel I can take the chance. I really don't. So, that my suggestion was that we go with Divine Design, and I think Matthew was in agreement with that.
May I ask a question? When is Civic Plus terminating?
I think that we made our payment we made our payment in March, and I think it was supposed to go through till March, to be honest.
Mhm.
Which actually is pretty good because the website will take a little time.
Yeah,
We don't want to be right up against the expiration.
right. I agree.
Two questions.
Yeah, John.
Is she a one-person shop or is she Divine Design? Is it just one person at that company or do you know if there's
Do you know
backup?
if she has more employees, Elizabeth?
I didn't ask her how many people were employed there.
Okay. And the existing data on the existing platform, that'll get transferred over, or how does that work? You know, we have bar agendas and planning board agendas and attachments. that
I
all
understand
part of
that. I will make sure that the information is available because it has to be, I think, nowadays. I think the laws are that it has to be there, so.
It's a good question.
So there are websites in existence now, municipal websites that we could look at.
Yeah.
Because we're essentially just making this decision without seeing her product, so to
Well,
speak.
the Goshen one, well, Elizabeth and I looked at them,
Yeah.
the Goshen
Right.
one, Monroe one, like they all kind of look very similar to ours.
Yeah, and to be honest, you know, as I said to Matthew, all of these municipal websites look a lot alike. I mean, the coloring is a little bit different, but they all have, you know, the same basic menus and things like that. There isn't a whole great difference between one and the other.
And we would have, you know, style control to the extent we wanted
Yeah.
it, if we wanted to make changes, but basically the content will be ported over. I think she has some ideas on how we can streamline the website and make it more user-friendly. But the content, especially the meaningful stuff, will be transferred over.
Do we have proposed contracts from this vendor for review, just in terms of ADA
does.
accessibility, cybersecurity and all of that?
I think that's a great question, and if you want, I'll forward her. I never thought to do it. I'll forward it to you, so you can take a look at it and make sure that you're comfortable with it. That would be fine by me.
ADA was a big one. This will be ADA compliant.
I
Yes,
appreciate taking a
that's
look at
another
that.
issue. This will be ADA compliant, and our current website is not, and we have to by law have that done sometime, I think by June of next year, something like that.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? No? Okay.
And another thing, yeah, I was just thinking of, I don't know if this is an issue or not, but talking about what John was talking about with the old information that we have on our website. If we're doing records, like a records retention, electronic records retention program, perhaps we could incorporate the website information into that and have the agendas on there and the minutes on there and the meeting materials on there. So that we wouldn't have to worry about the website being the source of that. It could be within the records retention generally.
What are we paying now for the service? Or what did we pay to get the service from
For
Civic?
the Civic Plus,
Yeah,
it wasn't that much different than what the new one is. It was like, it was really high. It was like 16,000 or 18,000, something like that.
and how long was the term?
It was something like for 4 years. And like
Okay, so it's similar term to Divine,
yeah,
Well, there's a chunk of it though that would have been the website build that I don't think we would have ever contemplated paying again. We would just keep rolling it over.
Yeah.
But now they're forcing us essentially to build a new
Yeah.
website, which
right.
is,
Mm,
Gotcha.
okay,
But not the town. That's strange.
it's odd, yeah. Be it
And-
resolved, okay, we got it.
Speak to them about that.
All right, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorize the mayor, subject to review by the village attorney, to sign the contract with Divine Design to create a new website at the cost of $7,600 plus an additional $1,176 to cover server costs and security upgrades over a period of 4 years. The current, FYI, the current website platform is being discontinued by Civic Plus, the company that initially created it. Do I have a second?
second.
Second by Trustee Tenari. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we'll get you the contract, Jared, for your review.
Thank you.
As we heard from the chief, he'd like to hire, Thomas Iazetti. So be it resolved that the Village of Tuxedo Park Police Department is authorized to hire Thomas Iazetti as a part-time police officer. The effective hire date will be determined after completion of the outstanding employment requirements. His rate of pay will be $28.97 per hour on weekdays and $34.97 per hour on weekends. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by the deputy mayor. All in favor?
Uh,
Okay. Last item, is park access for KCI engineers. I think for the purpose of this discussion, we should talk a little bit about it. Deputy Mayor, would you like to describe what is being requested and why?
Yeah, the Lennar Builders for the Tuxedo Reserve Homes is looking to install a cell tower by their water tower. And they just asked for permission to come into the park and just take pictures from about 3 or 4 different locations for their simulation of what it would look like from those locations.
And that's their water tower, not ours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
we've been through this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the Tuxedo Reserve wants to build a cell
Cell
tower.
by their water
Their
tower.
water tower,
In
150,
Tuxedo.
feet tall is the proposed, and trustee Tenari has some information on that.
This is near and dear to my heart, obviously. So my house would be the closest to it in Tuxedo, and it's very far from my house. So I looked to see just the altitude to determine whether anyone in Tuxedo would be able to see the thing, even though it'll be far away. And based on what I could find with satellites, it's about 750 feet high, the starting point, and then it goes up another 150. So it takes the tower height to about 900 feet, which is essentially the altitude of my house plus the trees. So my best estimate is no one in Tuxedo Park will be able to see it. But as a result, because we all now know how cell towers work, it won't impact positive or negatively the cell service in Tuxedo. And no one should be able to see it. And it's very far from the closest Tuxedo house. So it seems okay.
I have one.
I'm a little shocked that they're doing it after selling the houses right on that road, but that's up to them.
Yeah.
I have one request. I saw the 3 sites they selected. I'd like them to also take a photograph from Turtle Mountain Road, which is high up and looks over the lake and has a view of the ridge line, because they just designated 3 sites on the east side of.
From like the Tavani's house up there.
Right,
Yeah,
that would be,
yeah, up
yeah.
top, up
yeah,
top.
Mayor, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah,
That is.
and do you know if they're gonna use the balloon or are they gonna do this by computer generation? Do you have any?
I don't know. They just said a simulation, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay, all right.
We
So,
can, if you want, we can. ask
so we
them.
can ask for the additional photographs from Turtle Mountain Road. So
Mhm.
that's a view east across the lake, because that's pretty high up. That's
Yeah.
about as high as it gets. Would you like one from Eagle Mountain, or it's not?
No, I think Turtle Mountain's a little higher.
Okay, all right, that's great. We'd like copies of the simulation. for
Oh, I'm
review.
sure, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't say that. in
That's
the
true, it
letter.
doesn't, yeah, okay.
And with those provisos, anybody else have any other provisos they'd like to add to the authorization? Okay, all right. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees allow KCI engineers to access the public areas within the park to in preparation for a visual stimulation for potential wireless communication tower, ergo also known as cell tower, near the West Terrace water tank within the Tuxedo Reserve community. Do I have a second?
Second.
And that is subject to
To
receiving
additional-
copies
Yep.
of any photographs and to ask them to provide photos from Turtle Mountain Road, in addition to the other designated sites. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by the deputy mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Right, audit of claims. The September bills for the general fund were audited in the amount of $287,797.72. Bills for the sewer fund, $4,465.55. Bills for the water fund, $31,455.17. And bills for professional fees of professional fees fund of $1,328.83 were ordered and paid. Any questions to the clerk about any of those numbers? Okay, the vouchers are there for everybody's signature who's present in person. Budget modifications, no transfers this past month. And now I would make a motion, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees leave the public meeting and enter executive session at 8:12 p.m. for the purpose of discussing candidates for the planning board attorney,
Street names.
a water bill, update by me to the board on PBA negotiations, Tuxedo Road property update, if any, and other matters relating to a birthday party taking place on the 25th of this month. Any
other,
and-
any other matter?
and any other matter, is that really an executive session?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Attorney-client communication.
Well,
Attorney-client communication, but I think that issue is not, doesn't require executive session.
So, okay, so you
Okay.
want to
Well,
talk about it before we go
yeah,
in?
but I'll withdraw the motion. We have an item to add under new business, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, so it was brought to our attention, John, I think you brought this to our attention, that there were new, within the Tuxedo Reserve, street names, several street names that were very close to the names of streets in Tuxedo Park. So Matt and I met with Lennar and expressed our concerns, and then the mayor suggested that we bring it to Jared for him to draft a letter. Did everybody get the letter? I don't know, did you?
No.
Yeah.
Today, I think we got.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't- I didn't- I
we
didn't
just
see it.
got it today. Okay. So basically, Jared drafted this letter that would be addressed to
Well,
the,
let's not discuss what Jared drafted, but essentially the issues.
the issue is that, okay, some of the village roads that we're concerned have other roads in Tuxedo Reserve or Summit Road, they have Summit Trail. And that goes with East Summit, West Summit in the park. Then in the village, we have Pine Road and Ridge Road. In Tuxedo Reserve, they have Pine Ridge and North Ridge.
Okay.
And they also have Lower Ridge and Long Ridge, but.
So we're concerned about the similarity in names, and we are writing a letter to the developer asking them to consider changing, and we are CCing the County Planning Department and the Planning Board of the Town of Tuxedo, making a request that they consider changing those names to avoid confusion by the public. Is that essentially it?
Yeah, and the discussion we can have is who do we direct the letter to?
Okay.
And then, we cite the security issues or the emergency response issues that could easily occur, as well as Jared was saying, just basic misdirecting of mail and, all kinds of things like that.
All right. Is everyone essentially in agreement that we have to address this issue to avoid confusion between residents, guests, and whether they're going to Tuxedo Reserve or coming to the village of Tuxedo Park? Is this essentially everybody agrees it could be a problem? Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Josh, Trustee Scherer.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm in agreement with you guys.
okay, thank you, sir. Trustee Turner?
I agree.
Okay, so Jared, we'll ask Jared to proceed with the appropriate letter to the appropriate authorities. We don't have to select the authorities in this meeting.
Okay.
No, it's not necessary. Okay, let's go back to, I be resolved that the Board of Trustees leave the public meeting and enter executive session at 8:16 to discuss candidates for the planning board attorney, a water bill request, update on PBA negotiations, and attorney advice on other matters. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry, who seconded that?
I did, Elizabeth.
The trustee Tenari seconded.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, we're back on the public record. Oh, okay, we're back on the public record, and we have a motion with respect to appointment of a new planning board attorney. And I will make the motion. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorize the hiring of Amy Levine of Liberty Street Legal PLLC to provide legal services to the planning board at the rate of $150 per hour, and authorize the mayor to sign the letter of engagement as set forth by Ms. Levine and circulated to the board members. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Tenari. Roll call vote on this one, please. Elizabeth?
Sorry, I had to unmute. Okay, Deputy Mayor Lindsay,
Nay.
nay. Trustee Tenari,
Aye.
aye. Trustee Turner,
I'm gonna go with the consensus. Aye.
aye. And Mayor Citron.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, it passes 3-1. All right. Next, resolution. This is a resolution to Dan Scolini. That doesn't apply.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm
So how
sorry.
did that end up in here? Okay.
Because I screwed up.
Okay, no,
I
that's
just-
all
I
right.
forgot to I just forgot to update the post.
Okay,
executive
no
session.
problem, no problem. I'm just following the script. It's a little bit.
It's a little bit awkward, I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. Then we have a couple of public matters. I'll turn to the deputy mayor to discuss them.
Okay, so I sent everybody the New York Power Authority rates. The contract we have with them now expires at the end of November. Our current rate is 6.1 cents for the 1 year, 100% green. That rate now is being quoted at 7.694 cents for 1 year green. So just so you take a look at it, when you see the rates that they gave 1, 2, and 3 year term. And then for the base product, which is has fossil in it, 51% green and then 100% green. So I would recommend we go 100% green. And maybe we think about a 2-year contract, because last year we only went with the 1 year and it was 6.1 cents, and now the rates are up. So we might want to consider at least a 2-year term.
Our
So
prices
just,
are definitely not going down.
they're not going to.
Well, Elizabeth, I think, so we're gonna vote on this at the special meeting, right?
Yeah.
It would be
But
great,
You will have to get new rates because these are only
Yeah.
good now.
Elizabeth, it would be great if you could tell us how much power we use, so we can kind of just size the dollars that we're committing to. Not today, for the net, for this special meeting.
Claudia, I know that Claudia sent me something. So, and I have to make sure that what Claudia Bakhtiari, who's helping us with our green energy stuff. I just want to make sure she's looking at supply from O&R and not the whole bill from O&R. Okay,
So we have the right comparison. Yeah.
yeah, so, I'll get that to everybody, so you know, because what she sent me was, I don't think the supply rate for O&R, I think it was the delivery rate. And we can only control the supply. We can't control the delivery rate.
So it's how many megawatt hours or kilowatt hours we use so we can understand the dollars we're committing to?
Yeah,
And then also what the O and R comparison would be.
okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Number of kilowatts and prices. Okay, I will get that to you. So we're all ready to check it out.
Okay, is that it for public issues?
Yes.
Any public comment? I didn't give the public an opportunity to speak. Any members of the public have anything they'd like to say before we end this meeting? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the deputy mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much.
Have a good night, everyone.
Aye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.